Very kind of you. Thank you very much for your kind messages, everybody. Okay, my dear students, as you can see here, a snapshot of Chapter 5, or the results sections of academic articles. Okay, so here is a snapshot of what the method section is all about. Let me use the pointer. So as you may see here, we have some tables showing the results of different statistical procedures used. We have some accompanying text, and then we have the data analysis. So I'm going to tell you about these different sections in the results sections of academic articles. Okay, let me record the meeting for you. I forgot to record the meeting. Okay, so as I said, here you may see a snapshot of what the results section in academic article looks like. Okay, we have some tables showing the results of different statistical procedures used, such as tests, questionnaires, and whatevers. And then we have some accompanying text after the tables, and then we have the data analysis. So in the second slide, I will tell you about what the results section is all about. Well, this section deals with sifting, organizing, summarizing, and synthesizing the data. In the results section, my dear students, you have to present the results of different tests and statistical procedures you have used in your study. You have to sort them by sifting, sorting them. You have to sort them, you have to organize them, summarize them, and in some cases, you need to synthesize the data, okay? Well, we have, two main approaches to presenting the results section. The first one is a quantitative, and the second one is qualitative approaches to data analysis in the results section. But as you may know, we have another approach, which is a mixed methods approach, having both quantitative and qualitative approaches to data analysis, okay? So based on your approach to data analysis, the results section is different. If your approach is quantitative, it's mainly numerical. You have a lot of numerical representations, tables, diagrams, okay? But if your approach is that of a qualitative one or qualitative approach, so you may have more text rather than numerical representations, okay? So far so good. Are you following me, everybody? My dear students, okay, yes. So this section, well, today's lecture is about the results section. You already know about, well, the introduction, the literature review. You learned the methodology section. Well, for this session, I'm going to tell you about the results section. So the results section, as I said, deals with sorting, organizing, summarizing, and synthesizing the data you collected from different statistical procedures you have used in your studies. Suppose you have used two tests, like pre-test, post-test, or different statistical procedures like t-test, ANOVA, or Sheffield. So in the results section, you should tell the readers what are the results of those tests. You should show them the numbers, okay, the results of the test. As I just told you, we have different approaches to data analysis. The first one is quantitative, which is mainly numerical, having a lot of numbers, numerical representations. And the second one is qualitative, mainly text-based. You don't have, well, that much numerical representations. Mainly they are percentages or well, some numerical representation. But in the quantitative one, you have a lot of numerical representations. Okay, well, here is the main point about how to write the result sections. My dear students, in the results section, you merely, means just, you just present the results without elaborating discussions or commenting on the results. You just present the numerical results of the test you have conducted. There is no need to tell the readers about the reason for some findings. There is no need to discuss the findings, to tell them what some result has happened. You just present the results in tables, okay, in graphs, diagrams, okay. So, and then, but when we say that there is no need for discussions or elaboration, it doesn't mean that you do not need any text. Yes, you need some text to describe the data presented in tables and figures. In what way? See, writers usually comment on the significant data presented in the tables and figures. I will show you a lot of examples. When you have tables, when you have figures, my dear students, there's no need in the results section, there's no need to tell the readers about the justifications, the discussions, but you need a few lines, about 3 to 5 lines, commenting on significant data. You need to highlight significant data, but we do not need any discussion. I will show you some examples, don't worry. Well, this is normally followed by, when you have a table full of numerical representation, this should be normally followed by a statement or a statement showing the relevant or significant data. My dear students, when you have a table full of numbers, full of numerical representation, it might be difficult for you to understand all details from that table with a lot of numbers. So it is very necessary to write a few lines after the tables. Tell the readers about the main findings, the significant findings. You see what I mean? So it's very easy. Remember, your tables should be numbered and given a title. If you have several tables in your articles, they should be numbered. Table 1, Table 2, Table 3, okay, and so on. My dear students, there should be a caption or title for every table or figure you may use in your article, okay? So the main point for this slide is that in the results section of your academic articles, there is no need to discuss the findings in the results section. Discussion and, well, or discussing or commenting on the findings is for the discussion section. In the results section, you are only supposed to present the data you have collected from different tests, okay? It's very easy and straightforward, as you see. Well, yes, Said, we only, yes, present the data in tables, and then the table should be followed by a few lines focusing on the significant or main findings. For some readers, it is very difficult to figure out all the data in a table. So we need to write we need to highlight the significant findings after presenting the table. So it's very easy. Assam, everybody, do you have my voice? Assam is commenting that no voice. Probably he's waiting for a smoking break, I suppose. Yeah, okay, so Assam, everybody, yeah, always followed by the text. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, good, Ahmad, thank you. So did you get the point for this page, everybody? Did you get the point? So it's very easy. I will tell you about, yeah. So remember, when you have text following the tables, it is not for justification, it is not for discussion. You use the text to make the results meaningful by pointing out, by showing the most important results. This is very important. Pay attention to this line. The text following the tables makes the results meaningful by pointing out the most important results. When you use the text, you are going to simplify the results. You want to highlight the significant trends or relationship. And you just comment if the results were expected or unexpected. Remember, we do not need any discussion, any elaboration, any justification for the findings. Only present the data in several tables and add some text after the tables only to simplify the findings, only to highlight the significant trends. We do not need any reasons for the findings. Providing reasons and justification is for the discussion section. Today we are talking about the results section. It's very clear, okay? So my dear students, as I told you, we have two major approaches to data analysis. The first one is qualitative, the second one is quantitative. When your approach is qualitative, so your data are mainly non-numerical. Non-numerical. When your approach is qualitative, it is like using a survey. Compare it when you use comparing to times when you use, well, different tests. When you use different tests, when you use different statistical procedures in the quantitative section, so you have a lot of numerical representation resulting from the tests. But in the qualitative sections or approach, we usually have not too much numerical representation. It's very easy. So, but remember, let me go back, to this page again. In recent studies, we have mixed methods approaches using both qualitative and quantitative approaches. Suppose you may use several tests, and at the same time you may use a questionnaire or an interview or an observation. Interviews, questionnaires, observations are all parts of qualitative approach to data analysis. Okay, did you get the point, everybody? Very good, very good. Okay, good. So, well, the results section should provide answers to the following question. Okay, you should find answers to the following questions in the results section. Well, the first one, you should tell the readers what a statistical procedure was used to study the hypothesis in your article. I will show you a lot of examples, don't worry. So you should be telling the readers of your article that what a statistical procedure you used to study the hypothesis. You should be also telling about the probability level of each hypothesis, if the hypothesis is likely to be true or not. The probability level of each statistics. Okay, these are more of a testing class, not mine, but I'm telling you. You should be telling about the degree of freedom. My dear students, question 2 to 4, 2, 3, and 4 are about, well, the data analysis mainly used by statisticians, so don't worry about them. Well, what was the strength of the relationships of the variables? In the results section, my dear students, you should be telling the readers if the results are significant or not, if the relationship is positive or negative. This is meant by question 5. What was the strength of the relationship between the variables? Okay? You tell the readers if the results are significant, if the relationship is positive between the two variables, negative, or what. And for question 6, what were the group means, standard deviations, or frequencies? This is also very simple. What were the group means, standard deviations, or frequencies? You should report the results of your test, everybody. What were the group means, the standard deviation, and the frequencies? If you're using any questionnaire, so you should be telling them what were the frequencies for each item. What about the group mean? What about the standard deviations? And as for 7, you should be telling the readers about the main findings. Principal means main findings of your research, you see? As I said, you just report the findings. There's no need for any justification. Remember that, my dear student. There's no need to justify your findings. And then, what inferential statistics or statistical procedure were employed? Did you use t-test? Did you use ANOVA? Did you use Sheffield test? Okay, what kinds of statistical analysis did you use? And 9, you should also tell the readers about the reliability of measuring instrument. How did you calculate the reliability of your measuring instrument? Suppose you have used a test, you have used a questionnaire in your research, in your study. In the results section, you should be telling the readers about how you calculated the reliability of this measure. You see? For example, if you have used a test for your study, in the results section, you may tell the readers that you have piloted this test before using them for the main participants of your study. This is one of the ways that you can calculate the reliability of a measure. Don't worry, these topics should be covered in the testing course. Do you have any testing course? Yes, you have. I'm sure you have. It's with Dr. Razavipur, I suppose. You have a testing course with him, right? My dear students, can you hear me? So, he should be telling you about inferential statistics, reliability of measuring instruments, or things like this, okay? Don't worry, at some we will review everything, don't worry. Okay, so generally these are the questions that should be covered in the results section. You should find answers to these questions in the results section, and if you are the author of that article, you should provide answers to these questions. It's easy, don't worry. Okay? Here again, I will show you some strategies to report the results in your articles, my dear students. Okay? The first one is you need to refer to the method you use to to gather the data. I will tell you some examples, don't worry, just let me read the titles. The first one, reference to method. The second one, location and summary statements. The third one, highlighting significant data in a table or chart. 4, a statement of results, positive, a statement of results, negative. Highlighting significant, interesting, or surprising results. Okay? And 7 and 8, reporting results from questionnaires and interviews. And the last one is transition statements. So now let me show you example one by one. What was the first one? Reference to, aim, or method. It's very easy. Listen carefully. At the beginning of the results section in your articles, you should be telling the readers about the method you use to collect the data. This simple. Okay, see? Suppose this is a method. To assess something, assess means to evaluate. The questionnaire was used. This is the method you use to collect the data. It's very simple, my dear students. At the beginning of the results section, you should be telling the readers what kind of instrument, what method did you use to collect the data. Take this example. In order to assess Z, for example, repeated measures of ANOVA were used. This is another method you can use to collect the data, ANOVA. See, my students? ANOVA is another method used to collect the data. Okay? Did you get the point, everybody? At the beginning of the results section, you should be telling the readers about the method you use to collect the data. That's it. Okay. Did you use a questionnaire? Did you use ANOVA? Did you use t-test? Okay. What kind of data analysis? What method you use to collect the data? Okay. This is also very simple. The second one was location and summary statements, my dear students. What does that mean by location? You need to refer to some location in the article. What does that mean? Suppose you need to refer to tables. If you say table 1, it's a location in your article. Table 1 shows, table 1 compares, table 1 presents, table 1 provides. You see that? So, location and summary statements. You need to refer to some parts in your study. You need to provide your data in some locations in your articles, like tables, like figures, like diagrams. Okay, very simple. You also need to highlight significant data in a table or chart. My dear students, as I told you earlier, when you have a table full of numerical data, so you need to highlight the significant data. You need to add some text after the tables to tell the readers that what the significant results are. You see what I mean? For example, the histogram means chart bar, okay? Oh, sorry, bar chart, okay, sorry. The histogram in figure 1 indicates that. If you refer to any location, so after that, you should tell the readers about the significance. Suppose in figure 10, there is a clear trend of decreasing. You should highlight the significant data. Let me repeat my examples, my students. Well, suppose you have a table full of numbers. Can you readily and easily identify the relationship between the variables? It's very difficult. So you need to highlight the significant trends, the significant results after that table to tell the readers, okay, you have all numbers, but the summary of all those numbers in the table is like this. This is the main trend between the variables. Okay, is that easy, everybody? Did you get my point, everybody? Okay, very good. Only help the readers. Okay, my dear students, at this stage, you are helping the readers to understand the tables full of numbers. But remember, there's no need to tell them what a relationship is significant or is not significant. Justification, commenting, and discussion of the findings is for the discussion section. We are talking about the results section only. In some cases, you need to tell the readers if the results are positive or negative. Okay, don't worry. I will tell all parts again. Don't worry. Statements of the result. You should tell the readers if the results are positive, like here, or negative, like here. Okay? Let me show you some examples. For example, strong evidence of something was found. When you say strong evidence, it means that the results are significant. Okay? Or here you may comment on the negative results. Take a look at the example. There was no increase of X. No increase in X. See? Everybody, you may have positive or negative results in your articles. So you need to report them. Sometimes you have positive results, so tell the readers about it. In other times, in other cases, you may have negative, okay, positive or negative. What about 6? I told you, you should highlight, you should report, well, the most significant, interesting or surprising results after the tables in a few lines. See, I'm repeating that. In a few lines. Only highlight on the most significant findings. Take a look at the first example. The most striking result to emerge from the data is that. See, you have already presented the results in a table, but you need to tell the readers, you need to help the readers out with all those numbers. You see what I mean? They already have the numbers, but do they understand all those numbers and relationships? So you need to help them. Yeah. These are the examples, Shima. These are the examples. There was no increase, no increase. See? When the result, you may have, well, several examples. Okay? Zainab, what do you mean? What does that mean, a time investment? Okay? So, and what about 7? I will get back to the first slide. Let me let me finish the first round. Okay, then I will tell you more about the results section. My dear students, in the results section, you should report the results from questionnaires or interviews, okay? If you have used any questionnaire, any interview in your study, so you need to report them to your readers. Here you can see several examples for reporting results at the questionnaire or interviews. See, the response rate was 60%, or see, 70% of those were interviewed or indicated. See? And what about transition statement? This is the last slide for the results section. You need to compare the results, okay? You need to tell the readers if the results are related, positively related, negatively related, if they have something in common. You see what I mean? If you can find any significant relationship between the variables, it's very easy. So these were all about the results section, and after that we have the discussion section, my dear students. Okay, so would you like me to get back from the first page and tell you and summarize what I've told you so far? Would you like me to do that? Well, let me show you some example. Let me show you my article, and then I will get back to you. Okay, don't worry, don't worry. Let me show you. Let me show you one of my articles. Okay, let me stop sharing. Okay, and then share document. Well, where is that? I suppose it was here. Okay, here you can see one of my articles previously published in a very famous journal in England. It is a very famous journal, prestigious journal. Okay, you can see my name here. That was for my MA thesis, British Journal of Educational Technology, which is very famous, prestigious in the world. Okay, let me show you the results section. Yeah, see? This is methodology, and then after that, we have, there is, yeah, the results section. See, let me tell you a very important point, my dear students. Sometimes in some articles, the results and discussion section come under one heading. You see what I mean? In some articles, the authors may use one heading for both the results and the discussion section. So, in the first part, they will talk about the results and then they discuss the results. Okay, it depends. In other articles, we may have only one heading, results, and then another heading, we need, the discussion section. We need to revise because I missed away ideas. I couldn't. No problem, Assam, don't worry. Well, this is, let me talk about the results section here. Well, as you may see, we have, this is for location. When you want to start the results section, you need to tell the readers if you're reporting mean scores, standard deviation, descriptive statistics. Table 5, as you can see, this is table 5. It has a caption. You report the data. See, these are all the data. Mean, standard deviation of different tests. And then another table. See, you have the caption, then you Do you see all the numbers here? It is difficult to understand. So you need to explain a little bit about these all numbers here. Okay, let me show you some example. As shown by the data, it's a very good example. Listen carefully. As shown by the data in table 6, statistically significant differences were found between the mean scores of the participants in the three groups from pre-test to post-test. This is based on table 6. This is table 6. But let me ask you, did you understand, did you recognize any significant relationship by looking at these numbers? Definitely not. But here I summarized, I highlighted the main findings for the readers. I'm sure that it may be difficult for the readers to understand what all these numbers are all about. But you describe, the table, you highlight the main findings here. See, statistical significant differences. You see what I mean, everybody? This is all about the results section. It's a very short section in research articles. See? You should tell them if you use t-test, if you see. Table 5, table 5. The results, the numbers, and then, see, this is the explanation for table 5. I told you, it's a very short explanation. As table 5 indicates, the mean scores obtained from the pre-test differ from those of the post-test in each group of learners. My dear students, this is table 5. Did you understand this relationship? Definitely not. These are all numbers. It may be hard for you to understand the relationship, but I summarized the findings for table 5 here by writing a few lines about it. Can you see that? This is a few lines about table 5. We have all the information here in numbers, but you need to tell the readers a few lines about the most significant findings. That's it. The text, yeah, Sohat, this is a very good comment. Thank you. Yeah. Well, the text may precede or comes after the table. Yeah. There are several. Yeah. Before or after, no problem. Very good comment, Sohat. So, my dear students, this is all about the results section. Don't worry about anything. Okay, let me get back to the file. Would you like to have a short, well, for me, tea break, for some of you, tea break, and for Assam, smoking break. Okay, would you like to have a short break, everybody? For some of you, coffee break. Okay, Assam, no smoking, really? You're not smoking anymore? Okay, so everybody, Assam quit smoking, really? He's not smoking. He's no longer smoking. Good. Very good. Really, you feel sick. What happened to you? Cough. Okay. Isn't it the coronavirus? Be careful, Assam. Unfortunately, there is a mutation for the virus around the world. Well, we have a new mutation for the virus in England, and well, which is spread around the world. We just identified the new mutation in Kurdistan of Iran, one of the cities of Kurdistan. Well, I'm not sure if you have it in your country or not, but be very careful. So everybody, let's take a short break. I will get back to you very soon. I will revise the points. Don't worry. Okay, let's take a short break and then some coffee, some tea, and then I'll be back to you. Hello, can you hear me, everybody? Okay, good. So let me review the parts I just covered about the results section for and this time I'm sure that you will learn the major parts of the results section. So, my dear students, the topic for this session is the results sections of academic articles, okay? The results section is mainly a short section after the methodology section and before the discussion section. So listen very carefully. Hi again, yes, hi. So the results section is after the methodology section and before the discussion section. It's a very short section. It usually has some let me use the pointer, some tables, some text after the table, and then some kind of data analysis. Very simple. The results section usually have some tables including the results of the test, showing the mean scores, the standard deviation, the percentages, okay? And then we should use some text after the tables to show the significant relationship between all those numbers in the tables. Well, in some cases, it would be difficult for the readers, especially novice readers, to understand the relationship between all those numbers. So you need to add some text after the tables to highlight the significant relationship. That's it, very easy. And then you report, well, some numerical data. You use some statistical methods like t-test, like ANOVA, like Sheffer test, to examine the relationship between the variables. This is all about the results section. So, as I told you, in the results section, you sort, you organize, and you summarize the data. Data from what? Data from tests, data from questionnaires, data from interviews, okay? We usually have quantitative, qualitative, and mixed method approaches to the results sections. If you're using quantitative approach, you usually have a lot of numerical representations because you have used several tests like t-test, like ANOVA, like Sheffer. And qualitative analysis, when you are using questionnaires, interviews, or things like these, so you may use quantitative analysis. Good. What about mixed method approaches? Well, in the mixed method approaches, you usually have both of them. Okay, is it clear so far? Okay, so remember, in the results section, there is no need to discuss the findings. Just present the results, okay? Without elaborating discussion, without commenting. But you need to add some text before, as Suhad said, before or after the tables. For what purpose? To comment or to show significant data presented in the tables and figures. Okay, very easy, very easy. See, it is difficult to understand the relationship between all those numbers, so you need to add a text. See, texts are used to make the data meaningful, simplify, highlight the data, okay? we have approaches like qualitative, quantitative, and mixed method. You need to answer some questions in the results section. Yes? What a statistical procedure was used in your study? Did you use t-test? Did you use ANOVA? Did you use Sheffer test? What kind of statistical procedure you used? Okay? After that, we have some reliability measures. Okay, these are not important for you. You should be telling, 5 is very important. You should be telling the readers about the relationship between the variables in the method section, my dear students. What kind of text? A sum. But text means you need a few lines to tell the readers about the relationship between the variables. If the relationship is significant, if the relationship is positive, if the relationship is negative. By text, I mean a few lines. Is that okay? So, I'm repeating myself. See, in the tables, you have used a lot of numerical representations showing the relationship between variables. But for a novice reader, it is difficult to understand, to figure out the relationships between the variables. So, you need to write a few lines after the tables to tell them what the relationship is between the variables. Okay? You should show the group mean, standard deviation, frequencies. I already showed you my article. I will give you some examples, don't worry. You should tell them about the main findings, okay? And as you may see here, you should tell the readers about if you use any method like a questionnaire, any test like ANOVA, for example. You may refer to some location like tables. Highlight the significant findings. See? In figure 10, take a look at the third example. In figure 10, there is a clear trend of decreasing. What does that mean? Based on the data in figure 10, you will see a decreasing trend, but you add a few lines and telling this to the readers. Very easy. Okay? You should tell the readers if the results are positive, if the results are negative. I will show you some more articles from me, don't worry. And then you should highlight the significant results, okay? Just report the results. The most striking result to emerge from the data is that, okay? The correlation is related to. You should also report the results from questionnaires, from interviews. You need to compare the findings, okay? Let me show you some examples from my own publications, okay? Give me a second, please. Well, a standard deviation, is the degree of the differences between the mean scores of the participants in a particular test. While these concepts are usually used in the testing course, okay? And you need the support of a statistician when you want to analyze your data for your thesis. You usually have the support of a statistician, okay? This is another article from me, published in another journal. Let me show you the results section. Yeah, this is the results section. See everybody? Do you see the numbers everywhere? So, this is a table, okay? and details. Okay, this is a text about this table. Some details about the participants' attitudes towards the items in the attitude questionnaires are displayed in the first part of table 1. Here we have all data from the questionnaires. Okay, so here you will tell the readers about the data. See the data in table 1. We have more examples here. Okay, this is the rest of table 1. Okay, see, let me show you. Well, there was an approval among 87% of participants on receiving materials following a pre-specified time. I'm telling the readers what information is given here. What does that mean by 86.45? Okay, something like 87, for example. I'm telling them that this number is for the participants' approval of receiving materials following a pre-specified time. This is about my own research, okay? You do not need to understand that topic. It's very simple. Did you get the point, everybody? This is another table, okay? See, this is a text. This is a text about this table, a very short text. Take a look at this table, everybody. Listen carefully. Listen carefully, everybody. Take a look at table 2. What do you understand from these numbers? Probably nothing. But here, I've told you that, as table 2 indicates, the mean scores of the participants in the third group who received the podcast-mediated blended instruction was higher than those. This is a very good example. You should learn the whole lesson from this example. Listen carefully. These are all the numbers. Do you understand anything between the variable group 1, group 2, group 3? It's very difficult for you. But here you have a small text about the relationship between all these groups. As table 2 indicates, the mean score of the participants in the third group was higher. This is a very good example. Did you get the point? Here we have table 3. Let me show you another example. Everybody, what do you understand from these numbers? What do you understand from these numbers? Probably nothing. But here, as shown in table 3, the mean score of the three group differed significantly from each other. You see? You have all the information in here in table 3, but they are all numbers. What do you understand from these numbers? Probably nothing. But the author, that was me, explained to the readers that based on all these numbers here and there were significant differences between the groups. So hard. There should be a table. Yeah, some articles are descriptive. They don't have any table. But we are talking about experimental articles. We are talking about empirical, quantitative articles. You see, Sohar? If the articles is descriptive, okay. All the articles have table results. Shima, well, I told you about. It depends on the type of your article. If it is descriptive, if it is experimental, but articles mainly have, well, some tables, some results to report, okay? This is again table 4. Again, I'm referring to you. The results of multiple, okay? Shefe test. This is the test I told you. In table 4. Some text after that. See? This is very easy, very simple. And after the results section, we have discussion and conclusion. Okay. Did you get the point, everybody, my dear students? Tell me if. So, it's a big yes from Wael. Thank you. I'm going to tell you about the exam date, my dear students. Well, it's on January 13, 2021. But remember, we have 2 or more sessions to end this course for you. Remember that? So, I'm not going to run the exam for you on January 13, okay? I'm not going to run the exam session for you on January 13. So what should I do? I will register 10 for all of you for the time being, okay? You know what I mean? We have a system and we have a time limit so that professors can register the numbers. You know that. I should register 10 for all of you so that it is not closed. I will finish the course and ask you to take part in an exam session, and then I will change your scores to what score you get in the exam. It could be 20, it could be 9, it could be 0, it could be 1, it could be 17, 18, 19, whatever, 20. I hope all of you get 20 from this course. Did you get the point, my student? So, the time for the final exam for you, my dear Iraqi students, is on January 13. Now is January 1st, January 5th, okay? About, 8 days we have. So, I'm not going to run the exam for you, on that exact time. So, I will postpone the exam because we need more sessions to finish the course for you. Okay, I want to teach you whatever I know about this course. Okay, I'm telling the same topics to my Iranian students. No difference. So, let me finish the course and then I will tell you about the exact time. You should analyze an article. Remember that for the final exam, I will give you 1 or 2 articles and I give you 1 hour and I will ask you to analyze different parts in the articles. What does that mean? It means that you should tell me what are in the introduction section. You should tell me about the CC, topic generalization, literature review, gap, topic, purpose. You should tell me in the method section, you should be telling me about the participant, the instrument. You tell me the procedure section. See, it's very easy. In the results section, you should tell me about the relationship between the findings, the text, following the tables. And then in the next session, we applied all the things that we take in the yes, Zainab, you are right. My dear students, for the next session, you need to work on your articles in the results section. So listen very carefully. Identify the text and the relationship between different parts of. Let me show you some example in the results section. Okay, take a look at here. What do I mean? See, this is a table. Listen very carefully, everybody. Take a look at here. This is a table. You should find the tables in your articles and tell me if there is a text like this, as shown in table 3. See, the groups differ significantly. You should find the text following, okay, or before the tables, telling the readers about the significant relationships between the variables. You see what I mean? Okay, it's very easy. Yes, Ali, it depends based on the article. See? This is a table here again. Here you can see a text before the table. As the table 2 indicates, the mean scores was higher. You should identify the text before or after the tables and tell me what kind of relationship was there. Was it positive? Was it negative? Okay? And tell me what kind of information was given in the results section. Remember that. Tell me what kind of test did the authors use. Was it a t-test, ANOVA test? What kind of test? Okay? Remember that one. You may take notes. Well, no. Your class activity, Harun Hand, okay? Well, one part of the exam is to analyze the articles. The second one is your class activity, and then the third part I will tell you what to do. Don't worry. I will tell you to write some parts for the introduction, for example. Don't worry. I can tell you if the positive. As some, you should take a look at the article. If the results are positive, it is reported. If it is not positive, it is reported by the authors. Written, Shima, the article is written. Okay, my dear students, if you have no more comment, this is the end of the session. Thank you very much, Mortaza, and my dear students in Iraq. Hope you're all doing fine. If you don't have any more comment, this is the end of the session. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good night and send my best regards to your families. Take care, everybody.